All right, welcome to Heaven on Earth. I'm really excited to be with all of you today. As you can see, we are ready to rock here with the herd from the Mother Ranch in Longmont, Colorado. And I'm really excited because today is an interesting topic. I choose the topics usually day of, day before. They actually choose me, and they're very much connected to what the horses would teach. They're often about ways of being, about different qualities that we can embrace or bring more into our life. And Heaven on Earth is something that came in during a meditation once we hit self-cocooning time. And I asked, what's next? What can I offer for everyone? And it came in as Heaven on Earth. Actually, it came in as Church with Katie, and I said, what are you talking about? I'm not going to do church. But as someone mentioned, as we started, Oprah does Super Soul Sunday in very, very much similar fashion. This is really about being out in nature with the animals and the herd, to learn from them, to learn from the ways of being of the horse, of the donkey, of the goat, and of nature. And so the theme for today, which we'll start with a meditation, but the theme for today is about balance. And it is what also came in is, oh, by the way, I'm so excited to show you guys, we have the sheep and they're really wanting to be a part of this. They just told me that they're right here. That is amazing. So they're all coming up to drink the water. And actually, this is really, you can see, look at this one. They're so cute. This little black and white spotted one. So I actually, everything that happens with the animals is one of those things where it's all divinely perfect. And we often say you can't make this up when things happen. So the sheep have never gotten willingly that close to me. They're pretty, quote unquote, wild. And they got really excited that we're doing this. Oh, so did Phoenix. She's right here to say hi to everyone. Hi, girl. So fascinating. She's literally got her behind right here next to the camera. And so let's take a moment and get grounded, because I think that's what they're kind of all asking right now. So we'll go into the meditation. I'll share more about the sheep later. Let's see how this view works. All right. So just drop into your feet. You can wiggle your toes inside of your shoes and just kind of connect to the ground. Taking a deep breath. Allowing the lower half of your body to just start to feel a little heavier. And I just want to mention that if you want to keep your eyes open because you want to connect in with the animals or the mountains, that's totally okay. You can choose whether you want to do this eyes open or eyes closed. It's more that we drop into the energy of it. So getting a little more grounded. Sweetness readjusts here. And feeling the lower half of your body just getting heavier and dropping into whatever you're sitting on. And maybe energetically feel like you are placing both your hands on the rump of a horse or donkey and allowing your body to become as grounded as an equine, feeling all 4 feet fully connected to the earth, that strength, that presence of Your 2 feet feeling like 4 connected feet on the ground. Now, because it's been quite a week, let's collectively blow out some tension the way the horses would, just by blowing through your lips, ruffling your lips. Maybe taking an inhale to the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then exhaling. 1, 2, 3. Sweetness is doing a little of that yogic Ujjayi breath. So seeing if the nostrils can open more and take in more oxygen this time. So trying a breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Now trying a breath in through the mouth. Out through the mouth. And starting to just sink in deeper to whatever chair you're sitting on, allowing yourself to feel that support of the chair. Allowing yourself to rest even more fully. And just starting to notice each of your senses. Let's start with hearing. Let's move to smell. Move to taste. Moving to sight. Moving to feeling any sensations of your body. Maybe if there's tension anywhere in your body, sending the breath there like the wind, blowing away that tension. Maybe activating a new sense, a new state of being by just smiling, turning your mouth upwards, noticing what that does to your body as you smile. Now drawing your attention to between your eyes, top of your head. Picturing the sunlight, big radiant sun above, pouring sunlight down to your whole body. Maybe you even want to touch the area between your eyebrows and just give it a nice soft little caress. And then maybe the top of your head, giving it a nice little soft caress and movement. And now opening up to higher senses of the intuition. of your direct knowing, of your ability to communicate with animals. Opening up to just the highest guides, the highest form of love, light, and sound, that guidance that's always there for you. Just taking a moment to be still and opening up to these higher senses. What's coming in is maybe take it an eraser, like a big white eraser, and just start to gently erase the area of your third eye that might have some blockage or some stuff around it. Just gently erasing that space, just with the intention of purification. Nice. And now trying it on the top of your head as well, allowing this crown area to be purified. And now, as Sweetness is asking us, see if you can bring this purification energy from your crown, bringing it with the sunlight down to your heart, placing your hand there, activating your heart. Maybe you need the eraser there as well. Just erasing off anything that maybe is not aligned with love. Any residue. Clearing and purifying your heart center. Breathing in and out of your heart as though it has a mouth. Now, dropping this energy of openness and purification from your heart down to your sit bones, down into your feet, allowing your whole system to feel purified all the way through, from the top to the middle to the bottom. And really coming into your feet, allowing them to feel heavier. Maybe dropping some tree branches or trunks down from your feet into the earth. Feeling really steady, stable, strong. And knowing now that you have just opened from crown to ground to receive guidance, to receive messages that's for your highest good. That allows you the access of higher wisdom and intuition. It allows you the access of your own discernment. The balance of all the chakras, each connected throughout your whole system and body. Now at this time, just start to picture a horse herd surrounding you, maybe giving you blessings by greeting you with their head up and down. Maybe tune in for a moment in the stillness and see if you got a message from the horses, the donkeys, sheep. And what's coming in is allowing their interest in you to be a mirror for you to have your own interest in your own heart, in your own well-being, becoming interested in your own purification and clearing, interested in your own mindset. And as mentioned earlier, curious about what's to come, curious about the truth, curious about the mystery of life. Just hanging out in this space of curiosity without having to know the answer or needing to know the future. And so also coming in now to feeling balanced on all levels. So you may want to place a hand on your heart and a hand on your stomach, just balancing two of these big tender areas. Seeing if you can feel your lower half fully connected to your upper half of your body, just by your intention. Bridging this lower half with the upper half. Bringing in the earth to the lower half. Bringing down the sky and cosmos to the upper half. Energetically pulling healthy energy from the earth as we ask for permission to do so. Energetically pulling energy from the cosmos and the stars and the moon and the sun. All the healthy energy, asking permission. And then bridging these two areas in your heart center. Activating the rock energy and the star energy. Brightening, expanding your energy, expanding your love and your true nature. Now feeling into the expansionness and the peace of horses and donkeys and sheep grazing around you. Peace of wind and birds gently caressing your ears with their noise, their sounds. sounds of the grazing. The kiss of the sun on your body. Allowing yourself to land here, feeling fully connected to heaven, but also grounded to the earth. And so starting to feel into what it feels like to feel balanced in all parts of your body. So again, just starting at the top, opening and clearing, balancing this crown chakra, going down, keeping the throat open and balanced. Moving to the heart and balancing this area. Upper stomach, lower stomach and womb, balancing that area. Including the back, whole back. And then down to the sit bones and into the feet, balancing each of these areas, opening them, purifying them, spinning them and to abundance, clarity, prosperity. Knowing that as you open and clear your system, you are benefiting all of humanity. So now in these kind of final moments of the opening and balancing, just take a moment and see which area needs just a little more love, a little more care, which part of your body bringing this bridge between heaven and earth, this body being your home, which part needs more clarity? Any of you had your eyes open, you may have just seen Midnight come across the screen. Something stung him most likely, or shocked him, or moved him. And he picked up some speed and he was releasing something from his kind of hind area and his legs, so that feeling of belonging. So let's do this in the last minute or two. We're gonna do some clearing, since Midnight invited us to. So you can say yes inside yourself if you're open to the clearing. Let's clear anything and everything that feels like it's stinging us right now, biting us, bothering us, hurting us, anything we feel like we want to run away from. Let's uncreate and destroy that. And let's fill with the energy of embracing and allowing and accepting. And then anything that's causing us to feel like we don't belong here or we don't want to be here, Any feeling of separation and division that we're holding or that the collective's holding that's no longer serving us, I'd like to uncreate and destroy that. That was big. And so let's, in that open space, put in the energy of the robin's gift of new beginnings, a new dawn and spring upon us, new possibilities where there's equality and inclusion and pure love and acceptance for all beings, especially those who have felt stung. Let's place in our hearts the energy of one herd grazing together, one herd of immunity, one herd of connection. Let's just allow that into our systems right now. Just take a moment in silence to honor all that we've been through for the last several weeks, the last few months. Just honoring yourself for getting through. And just stepping into gratitude for yourself, for being here at this time, amidst everything going on. And just sharing gratitude for yourself for even showing up today in the midst of full lives. You taking time for your consciousness, for your heart, just giving yourself gratitude for that. Deep breath. And this time, let's breathe with the horse breath through our noses. Landing in a smile again. Maybe you want to sigh on the exhale. So start to come back into your full body and full energy fields. As you come back, take back all the power you may have given to anything, just bringing your own energy into your body, saying your name, I am, 3 times, I am. Awesome. Opening up your eyes when you feel ready. Maybe noticing the first thing your eyes land on. Maybe that has a message for you. All right. So nice work, everyone. That was a little bit of a longer meditation, but I'm really grateful that we spent that time. I'm going to move into wisdom share, and we'll end with the goats. So a lot of what the point of that was First of all, these meditations are guided. I don't know what's going to come through me. The eraser thing was interesting. You know, these are pieces that come in differently each time. And so the purification piece is also interesting. But it's been in my energetic field this week as I had massive bug bites the other night and have been pretty sore and in pain. And learning that the essential oil that works for bug bites to prevent it and also to recover is an essential oil called purification. And so hence me thinking through bringing that energy into our systems right now. And I don't know about you, but I've been exposed to quite a lot over the last week that doesn't necessarily feel fully purified. And so as soon as Heaven on Earth was starting today, when I first logged in, the man who owns this ranch was putting brand new water into the bucket. He was fully filling it up. And Phoenix went and drank first. Donkey waited for her. I always find the herd dynamics interesting. And there's an energy, you know, today's topic is on balance, but clearly purification wants to be here as well. And what that means to you, you know, my name Catherine actually means purity. And so it's something that I thought about quite a bit. But what I find interesting is balance actually helps with the purification, because when we get stuck in the energies of right or wrong or good or bad, Rain is watching and enjoying this message. You know, the black and white thinking, you know, hence me wearing gray today, the bridging of the two colors, but having the horses here, black and white and gray, horses really merging. There's this energy of what happens when we blend. Do we lose our identity, or do we just become more integrated, right? And so, you know, part of what sticks us is thinking that something's really good or really bad. And what I mean by sticks us is it makes us feel like we need this, but we don't need that, or this has to happen, but that can't. And it's a very dual way of being, which, you know, the ego often operates from this place of better than, less than, right? And I'm not good enough to do that, or look at me, and being in that boastful place. The horses don't hold that energy, so to speak. They are really in embrace of what all is. And so is nature. What nature embraces is cycles. So sometimes things are more heated, like they would be in summer, a heated time in our society. Sometimes things are more quiet or more stagnant, and maybe more barren. Less is happening, right? In the winter energy, having a horse in here named Winter. So what I love is how this herd is almost in a circle right now. This is Salida is out a little bit to the left here, the red horse. And I just learned in this last week that Salida's name was Secret at first. She's an off the track thoroughbred racehorse. She's a broodmare, which means she had babies for the track. And so what's interesting is her name changed, and the little boy who lives here, who's adopted from Ethiopia, he named her Salita because he tuned into her and knew that was her name. And he said, it's Salita. And so Julia, who owns Mother Ranch, looked it up, and it means a little piece of heaven. And so I am loving the fact that this name Heaven on Earth chose itself. So what's really neat about that is, you know, bringing these horses into your hearts as you go into the week is really powerful. You're literally bringing a little piece of heaven with you, and to remember that, and to bring that with you as you move forward. But what I love about the herd is they are in a balanced system. So they have to keep their diets balanced, or they could go into colic or issues with their stomachs. So they know to keep their body balanced. It's literally life or death for them. Hi, Rain. And they know, you know, how to take care of themselves, going to the water hole when they need it, using their bodies to get rid of the stuff that they don't like with the flies, right? They are very clear about keeping a balanced system. So I'm realizing now there's a huge, large bug on Rain. Let's see if you guys can see it. And she's really bothered by it. So she's trying to get it off her, and it's up on her back. Oh, there she goes. She got it with her mouth, but it's still landing. And these are the bugs that drive these horses crazy. And they can bite. And so she's gonna, that's probably what happened to Midnight before when he came running across the pasture as though he kind of got bit. So, you know, what has been interesting is being in that space of like, what's bugging us, right? And there's a lot that's bugging us, and there's a lot that's bugging other people right now. But how can the energies of balance support us, right? So she's drinking the new clean water, purifying her system. Water is one of the best ways, as we know, to purify our system and to bring us back into balance. And so much of our bodies are water. On the inside, as we all know, we're exactly the same. People are very focused on the outside right now, and I understand it. And I also feel very clearly that the horses are communicating ways of being instead of ways of looking. It's not an easy comparison because they are animals and it is different. Although we are animals as well, we live in a different world with this different societal makeup than the horses do. So I've been thinking a lot about the comparison, and it's there, but it's not there. What I do think is we can learn from them. And what I find so beautiful is that right now, I feel like because we've been through so much, she's just finishing in the water. We've been through so much that there is really an opportunity for us to think about what can bring us back into balance right now. Especially because June is going to be in an intense month. We have 3 eclipses, Mercury goes into retrograde. That is the time to reset, reevaluate, rejuvenate. It's all the re's, relook at. And so what is the one kind of self-care piece, commitment to self that you want to schedule in this week that is that kind of purification for you, right? Whether it's being amongst trees or being outside or meditation, water, dance, whatever it might be, what helps bring you back into balance quickly? So I know for me that if I'm in my head too much, which is just a natural way of being, I have to come here and get back into my body and get back into my heart, and balance those things, right? The mind is important, and especially right now, the mindset is important, what we're thinking about things. But so is the body. We can't forget about that, right? We need to take care of it, especially being in situations where we have, you know, physical challenges on a global scale. And so this is just more of a reminder that we may need to look at balance. So this world was out of balance, clearly, and we had to swing the pendulum to be really looking at this whole Black Lives Matter, and the pendulum swung as it needed to. What I'm interested in is, can we find center together? What is it where it looks like we come into balance with ourselves, we come into balance with the earth? This isn't just called Earth School, this is called Heaven on Earth. So how do we bridge and balance these two energetics of being from here but not being from here, right? Being humans but being beings, having spiritual experience and having a human experience, right? How do we bridge these different energies? And it really is about balance, but balance happens in the body, and then a lot of things can easily balance on the outside. So it's trying to balance these things in our life, like I need more time of this and this and this, and trying to equalize it can be hard, especially when there's different roles and responsibilities, more now than ever, especially for parents homeschooling and whatnot, right? Or we're homeschooling. But how do we start to create balance in the body, right? Which is the physical body, but also the energetic part of the body that we are, right? Who we are as beings, as souls. So how do we start to create balance? So, there's going to be a journal prompt on what the definition of balance is to you. I don't love the word balance. It is something, when I first left my corporate career, I got hired to do a work-life balance training for a group of executives at the Style Network. And it was fascinating, but I was because I was reading a book, How Did I Get So Busy? And I was applying those pieces. And so a lot of it is just thinking about which areas may feel out of balance, right? Like maybe you've really been focusing on work, and there's something in your heart on your desire list and the bucket list that needs to happen as a way to work becomes more powerful as you balance into the personal life. Maybe work needs some focus, right? Maybe in your relationships, one is feeling like it's gotten more attention, right? And you maybe need to focus some more attention on yourself. Part of what we are looking at collectively is how did we get to a point where there's been these injustices or these what's coming in as the word infrequencies, like these where we've been so focused or allowing one group to succeed, where that hasn't been extended elsewhere, right? And but what I'm noticing and what I want to share the most on is that this whole totalitarian type thing is not going to work for us, because balance is an intuitive process, hence me opening up the senses. Some days are going to look really skewed in one direction versus another, and to be okay and to accept and allow it, and then to come back. So an airline pilot is off course something like 93 or 95% of the time. And but they still get to their destination, right? So right now, if we have a clear destination that we are kind to ourselves, to each other, to nature, to animals, to all humans, if we set this intention of collective kindness and that's the goal, we may get a little off course on our way there. Winter's coming over to say hello on this. But there's this ability to reset and to trust that the outcome, that the desired outcome is still possible, even if it doesn't look like it is. But to not get into this, all X group is bad because of some bad people. And there are no bad people. This is another teaching in my world. There's bad behavior, right? And the behavior needs to change. But we've all judged ourselves for our own bad behaviors at time. We've all felt shame and guilt on that. That's a lot of what I was working on this past week with clients, was clearing guilt and shame. Because collectively we all have it, right? And for whatever we've said or not said or done or not done, doesn't make us bad people. It is behavior that needs to get adjusted, that needs to come back into balance. So if you think on this for the week, how do you bridge heaven on earth? Maybe you've had too much of the earth, too much of the 3D, too much of like what you can see, and there's not enough of this expansive other possible energy to pull in and pull down. The horses ride between the worlds is one of the ways that it's been talked about. And what that means is they live in both places. They live in heaven and they live on earth. They're here, they're in bodies, they need to be on earth, but they are able to pull in the high level ways of being and the energy of meditation and stillness. They have intuition that's beyond our own understandings, and heart capacity that's larger than ours and extends out. So what if we were to start to become more like them, where we have higher capacities of intelligence at a higher level, through heart and through ways of being? So these are some of the things that were just kind of ruminating for me around balance, purification, discernment. Knowing what is for you and what's not for you during this time is really big. It's very clear to me that there are certain things that I'm not resonating with, and I don't need to make it wrong or bad, but I can move on from that. So time is flying as it does. So I'm going to give you the journal prompt, and then I'm going to stop recording. But the journal is about, if you have pen or paper, if you want to just sit and meditate with us, what does balance mean to you? Is there a word you like even better? I love the word synergy. I created a whole business with that name and concept, which is that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, which is what I feel like the horses embody and what we are as a society. And that's the goal, is synergizing. But how do we synergize our shadow and our light? How do we synergize the ego and the soul, the heaven and the earth, right? How do we bridge and connect and integrate? So maybe what is balance for you? And then jotting down, again, I always like to do the kind of 2 lists. One is, what are the areas that are out of balance for you right now? That feel slightly out of balance. And again, 0 judgment, just notice, just be neutral on it. And then what are the areas where you feel like there is some good balance, right? Like for me, during self-cocooning, I was working really hard, but I was also sleeping really hard. So I was creating this like burst of action with burst of rest. So that was a way that I was really working through creating balance. Created a vitamin formula for myself so that my vitamins were balanced, right? So even just the littlest things that you can give yourself credit for, many of you are naturally balancing your systems with water. So give yourself credit on another list of what are you balancing. So what does balance mean to you? Is that the word you want to use? What it feels balanced, what doesn't feel balanced? Just kind of creating that list.